Not a Na'Vi in this kind of shape where they just look like world eaters.
No,
I was definitely expecting Na'Vi to make it deep, but that was not the case.
Well, here we go. We are getting ready with the game, starting off on Train. It's Fnatic and Gambit. So welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Lanxess Arena. And this is going to be a very interesting game. Fnatic, they're set up as the ultimate team here. And we'll see if Gambit have any chance to put a dent in their armor. They're at least going to start on the CT side here, which might give them a little bit of hope. The bomb making its way down Ivy, and Booch is going to be in the spot early on, but in fact it's over by the brown holes that there's a bit of an engagement early on, and there's 3 men stacked on B. Doja with the strong early kill to take down Flusher.
That's fairly interesting actually. Fnatic a little disjointed here. They're going to just go for the rush through alley, straight onto the A site, not wait for the fake over on B for those players to make their way back onto the site to support them. Instead, Fnatic has to jump the gun. Crims is going to find a kill, but it's instantly traded by Mo, and Adren steps in as well. This is not looking too good here for the Swedes, as JW is now the last man alive. He's got the bomb, but he's in a 1v3, and he's just going to get closed in and on by Hooch. Gambit Gaming will completely shut down Fnatic's play in this pistol round.
What a smart round from Gambit. As soon as they realized what's up, they just stopped fighting. I love the fact that Mo ran back and just hid by that train. The only problem was there seemed to be a lack of communication in Space just walking out. I think Space thought he was covered from that angle, and Mo wasn't covering him. That's the only glimpse. Apart from that, great round from Gambit.
And I'm a bit surprised to see. I mean, not only is it a great round from Gambit, but it's also a little bit of a shaky round from Fnatic. You can see, you get an idea of what they had in mind when they set up with 3 over towards alley. They have the bomb over there, but they instantly put 2 guys in brown halls towards B. So they're trying to make noise towards B to draw the attention over there from Gambit, and then just strike onto the A site once the rotation has begun for the CT side. Clearly they jumped the gun.
Now we are seeing something that's a bit rare in Counter-Strike, but it was in fact 5 Deagles. There's almost always that 1 man out that has to be special and different. This time it was all 5 Deagles. Mo did start off with a really good shot, but he goes down to Olofmeister, and you got to respect the Deagles of Fnatic. They're not to be taken lightly. Hooch doing a good job with the MP9, but Flusher goes back and takes out Doja. So again, just trading evenly right now. It's already a bit of an expensive round for Gambit.
This is the style of Fnatic that just works so perfectly, right? They have those individual aimers that will just start pulling that defense apart as they get kills. Flusher gets his kill on the B site. Instantly, Adrian has to rotate over through connector, and Space even doubles up in connector. They don't know where it's coming from. They did just spot JW, though, so the timing works out impeccably there for Space. So that drops the bomb on the A site. Fnatic are now committed, and Gambit can now just bolster that defense. All 3 players are ready and waiting here for Crims and Flusher to make their appearance.
Crims right on the other side. No problem for Hooch there, and Flusher going to be going down. So Gambit only losing the 2 players. One of those rounds that could have been much worse, and you can see that Fnatic are playing it a little bit slowly, a little bit hesitantly there, and Gambit aren't giving them nearly any chances. They're really trying to make sure that there are no freebies here for the Fnatic team. That's going to move into a round because they haven't got the bomb plant yet at all. That's going to feature just Glocks.
Just Glocks, hard eco. No joy here for Fnatic. And I imagine a B rush as well, just trying to YOLO out onto the lower ramp, get that bomb plant as quickly as possible. 4 players making their way now. JW heading over towards alley, and actually no, they are going to be splitting up a little bit more. That smoke, that aggressive smoke coming out from Doja is going to just deny early access to the halls here for Fnatic, but eventually they'll be able to make their way over there. JW has now served his purpose. He showed himself over at alley. He can start rotating back over towards his mates.
Doja was initially playing a little bit aggressive on the ramp there, but he's not going to risk too much. Just ends up falling back, and again, these Glocks at range, it's really hard to get consistent kills with them. Space is also playing fairly aggressively, so I kind of like this in a round like this one, because you want to make sure they don't get the bomb down. There's no reason they should get the bomb down when they don't have armor and only Glocks, and you can be reasonably sure that's what's coming. So Space being aggressive by Forklift is a reasonable idea. He's going to fall back, I think, maybe getting a little bit paranoid there.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised to see this slow pace from Fnatic, actually. They really are taking their time. Mo's going to find the kill on JW, but he was already tagged up, and Fnatic, with JW falling, they decided to try and make something happen here on the A site, but it's just not panning out for him. Flush is now the last man alive in a 1v4. They've secured 1 kill, and that's all they'll get here with this hard eco. No bomb plant to give JW that off, and really not a whole lot of money to work with either. They definitely would have liked to have had that AWP in play. Olofmeister could go for a glass cannon one if they want. Maybe. Yeah, and he is actually just going to go straight up glass cannon. Okay, then.
Yeah, and on Train, there are so many ways to use it where you are at minimal risk. And just to reiterate again, in case you're a new viewer or anything else like that, the risk of not having armor, especially on the terrorist side, is running into grenades. They do so much damage when you don't have the Kevlar, so that's one thing Olof has to worry about. He's actually going to make his way fairly quick into main, which is exactly where he could have grenaded, or just straight shot to the chest by Mose WP. And now this is a very important start here. If they can break Fnatic already in the 4th round, Gambit are going to be off to an interesting start.
It's just a matter of split seconds sometimes. That's what it comes down to. Olaf had the right idea, but Mo had the angle, and now Doja. Contrary to what most players would say is the correct play to make in that sort of scenario. You're a man up, now just sit and wait. No, Doja says, no, more aggression. We're not going to show any respect to Fnatic, actually. We're just going to go ahead and take the fight to him. Mo gets legged. That's a return shot, and Dennis with the 1-2 combo. The leg shot and a headshot from Dennis.
And now they definitely need to do what you just said. Now they've been warned of what happens if you keep fighting Fnatic. They are individually at such a high level that it makes no sense at all to try and fight them right now. Just wait for them to try and get the bomb plant down. They only have about 50 seconds to get close to the site. Doja is in a position where it's a bit of an off angle. In fact, people don't usually hang out there. Now he's rotating back to a more normal spot. Hooch waiting for JW to make his move down here. And as soon as he does, if Hooch gets the kill, the game is going to be up. Although now they're rotating back out into the yard. JW picks up a kill, and Dennis as well. And it might be crumbling here for Gambit. They were off to such a strong start. Space picking up a really strong kill, making the 2-1-2, but he's getting shot in the back. Dennis picking up that one, triple for him, and it will now be all on Doja. 1 versus 2 here, and Flusher and Dennis, they can just hide for days.
Yeah, it's that hive mind kicking in, right? Draw attention. In the meantime, you're going to have that hamstring coming in from the other side. Flusha just looking for the duel. He shows no fear facing Doja. He knows exactly where he's coming from now, and Doja realizes the game is up. I have to make the move. I can't hang around and hope that Fnatic are going to peek into me again. I'm running out of time as well, and, well, it doesn't really matter when you're dead. Flusha finds him once he gets out into the open, and that's the first round picked up here for Fnatic on their T side. They didn't waste too much time either. So 3-1 to score, and Gambit, they don't have the money to buy.
That's such an expensive lesson for Gambit to have learned, and one that they knew already. So that's just horrible. You get the first 2 kills, and you sort of keep fighting and keep peeking in, and it just all crumbles. That's something essentially that Gambit did to themselves. So Fnatic are going to be happy about that. But in terms of Gambit's confidence, that's gonna cut pretty deep, I think.
No, that's exactly it. That's what they're worried about right now. And wow, the aggression here from Upper Dar. Flusha, he's going to be in position to hold it, but he gets headshot, has to back off. Does he have somebody there to help him? Yes, Crims and Dennis both rotated in to watch their teammates back. And so they do survive momentarily here, Fnatic. Flusha on 6 HP, he's going to get that bomb, and he's just going to regroup with his teammates. They know what they're up against now. It's pistols that they have to deal with, and so the key here for Fnatic is to just group up, make a bit of a death ball, and just rush out onto a site. Don't want to give those pistols time to trade, make their way away from with a gun. Life could get a little bit difficult for Fnatic if they allow Gambit to find some firepower somewhere, but it's just not happening. Dennis with the pick on Hooch.
Yeah, and I don't think Doja could do a lot here without the armor. The aim punch does actually do quite a bit of damage and takes down Olofmeister, who should have obviously got that kill. That gives up the AWP, but he can't even get a chance to use. Crims, a little bit too excited, takes down JW. So, I mean, Fnatic losing a couple of members, but overall going to win the round. And I do still like the attempt from Gambit. I actually think it's quite a cool idea. You know, they knew that they would have had no chance in that round anyway, so just trying to rush into White Halls there from B, I think that's a reasonable idea. Could have worked out. Yeah, throwing in some aggression, and it actually does, you know, force a little bit of stress here on Fnatic's economy. 2 of those players dying in a hard eco scenario. That's not exactly what Fnatic are looking for. 1, okay, fine. 2, that's getting into the realm, well, of the unforgivable. You really don't want to be giving away 2 kills to a hard eco like that. So, a little bit frustrating for Fnatic, but they should be able to shake that off fairly easily now, and they go straight into a default setup now on their T side here in this round. Spread out across the map, and they're like, right, Gambit, if you want to get aggressive, we're just basically going to cover as much of the map as possible and try and catch you when you do it. See how this round works out. If Gambit get the entry frags, if they can, or the opening kills, if they can sort of learn to relax a little bit more. If Fnatic get them, it'll be interesting to see if Gambit can muster a retake against the Swedish team, because that's going to be so difficult, I reckon. Olofmeister is down here, and Hooch is on the other side, playing just a little bit with fire. If he peeks too far, he could be out of the round immediately. It's perfect here for Hooch. He knows exactly the distance, right? He's not peeking all the way down the alley. He's just peeking about halfway. So if somebody's trying to lurk their way up, he's not fully exposing himself to just this kind of scenario right here. We'll see if he gets impatient, though, and decides to take the risk, because Olofmeister, he's very patient, not actually falling off that angle. He wants to find the pick. And with 50 seconds left on this clock, that does not leave Gambit a whole lot of time to get the information and figure out where Fnatic are coming from. Fnatic know this, so they're waiting for some kind of aggression to come out of it, and there you go. But Olofmeister
misses the shot in the meantime, and Hooch will win that duel.
Now, that's interesting, and I wonder what it does to Fnatic's push, because I think they were actually going to maybe try and rotate back to A now. Adrian also picking up a kill there, taking out Flusha now. 2-for-0 trade again, and this is a round that they must be able to close out, and looks like they will. Space and Mo both coming in with a shot. Krim's doing a lot of damage there, but he couldn't quite follow through with the kill. He's also alone with 17 seconds to try and get this bomb plant down, at least for his team, and they do need the money, Fnatic. They actually need this bomb plant to continue on. Krim's fighting, 8 seconds now. Not going to be good enough. As soon as he plants, he's out of the round. Mo to pick up that kill. Double for him, and a 4th round for Gambit. And that's going to do some significant damage to Fnatic's economy here. A little bit scary for the Swedes.
Yeah, they're right on the edge. There's a time when I would say this was good enough for a buy for Fnatic, but now I'm wondering.
Well, to bring up that point, this could be sort of a way to sort of almost measure Fnatic's temperature here, to say how confident are they feeling. If they feel real confident, then yes, they buy, and they just say, because on the other side, bring up the scoreboard here, Gambit have almost no money either. So if they were feeling really confident, it looks like that's exactly what Fnatic are. So this is a very good indication into the mental state of Fnatic right now. We'll see if this is going to be rewarded.
And I'm curious to see. It's looking like some early aggression towards B halls. They've been going A quite a bit here, Fnatic. So when were they going to start to swing to B? When were they going to start saying hello to Doja early on? Adrian's there as well, and Gambit are pretty much set up in their own form of default hold on the CT side. It's only that Fnatic, they're just going for a quick change of pace. They're rushing right out onto the site, and so far the defense held. 3 kills for Gambit, 2 for Fnatic, and Fnatic should be able to get the ball plant, but it's stuck on the lower ramp. Flush has to create some space here to work with, and he's going to find space.
They weren't expecting Flusha, and they couldn't have known that. He actually ran through the smoke on the high ground, and nobody in the site saw him, so that's a really big problem. Now it is a 2-on-2, and they have a massive health advantage on Gambit's side. But do they realize if they start shooting with the AWP, that could be a suggestion that maybe they don't. There is no Molotov on Fnatic, and that's such a key ingredient here. Even if they get the bomb down, they won't be able to firebomb it out afterwards. Mo in a lot of trouble, and he's going to go down. Flusha being given so much space to work with, picking up a 3rd kill for himself, and now Hooch walking in will at least take him out, so it turns into a 1 versus 1. Olof on 16 health versus Hooch on 100%. One shot or one grenade would take Olof out of this round, but it is not done yet.
Oh, it's so frustrating for Olof as well, because that was he was in the perfect spot to bring that up to bear, to look towards connector and find the last man, but instead he has to just go for the plant now and hope that he's going to be able to just hold that long line on Hooch. He's still worried about Hooch having rotated back through connector to Pop Dog, and so Olof now, he has no idea where Hooch is coming from. This is such a difficult position to play from. He has to kind of just like play the angles, and he has no incendiary or smoke or anything to actually make this life easier. It's only a single flash.
Yeah, but Hooch does, and Olof, he can't walk into the fire here. If Hooch puts the Molotov on high ground, that's the round. He has the kit as well. Olof might be right on the edge. He's going to walk out and take down Hooch, and Olof going to win the 1v1. That's a huge round here. The Gambit definitely shouldn't have lost. The main factor was just the amount of space that Flusha managed to take, and also partly that Gambit gave him.
No, that's textbook stuff, right, from Fnatic, right? You need to get a terrorist up to the connector. You need to be catching out the CTs before they can start pressing you back onto the site, up into the hallways. And Flusha, just in true Flusha style, right? He just infiltrates the defense, opens it wide up for his team to play with. And well, now, Fnatic, they took a risk in the last round. They went for the force buy. It's paid off perfectly. Gambit are the ones on pistols now. Gambits are the ones who are trying to save the money. And Fnatic with the full buy. So this is the chance now for Fnatic to just completely take control of this first half.
It's ridiculous because 2 of these 3 rounds that Fnatic have right now should have been Gambits, essentially. So it should have been a very different scoreline. But you give even an inch to a team like Fnatic, and they will absolutely wreck you with it. A good kill for Doja, but in the meantime, over at the B side of the map, where Dennis is sneaking with the bomb and Krims is already on the site, Mo is the only one defending, and backup may have been called for, but it is not going to get here in time. Krims will be taking out Mo, and that leaves just the rest of Gambit. Not really anything they could do at this point.
Not a whole lot apart from push Doja away, try and get him back into CT or something along those lines where he is set up now, and see if he can hold on to that AK. Maybe you can get some kind of hero AK play going in the next round that can make the difference, or at least make life a bit more difficult for Fnatic. But right now, Fnatic, they're set up and they're willing to just sit and wait. They know they're up against an eco. Hooch eventually finds the kill on Flusha. Krim pushes aggressively, takes out Doja, finds the kill on Space as well. And now it's just Hooch alone, and he can't even make his way across the site to actually pick up that AK. So Gambit, they kind of lost out in this situation, I'd say. Still 2 kills, but they might have been able to save a rifle as well, and that would have been huge for them.
Yeah, any little bit is helpful when you're on the CT side and you are down in economy, and that's exactly what they are. I mean, they could buy rifles in this round, and they will, but it is going to be just on the edge, and it will just create a huge lack of grenades here on their side. So if Fnatic slow play this round, Gambit are going to end up using all their grenades by the 40 second mark, and that's going to be a really big problem for the defense.
Yeah, that CT side is so dependent on grenades to cover the choke points, to make it more difficult for the T side to get anything going towards bomb sites. And well, Fnatic, they're well aware of the situation now, so what they're doing is, well, they're not fully aware that this could be a buy, maybe a half buy. That's always the outside chance. So they're going to spread out across the map right now, just get that info, and then they'll know how to play it. JW is going to catch out Hooch. So that's a fine start right there. The man advantage now for Fnatic very early on in the round.
And look at the mass amount of problems that's going to create for Mo and Space, who are now on the bomb side and have to just cover so many angles. And Mo not even aware they're sneaking up right behind him. Crims heard that jump down. Mo going to pick up a deficit, turning around now, going to get the shot there. Crims picking up a double in return, and the round is pretty much done here. Adrian and Dozier left, and you could see they're already smoked out. The bomb is not quite making its way across. Somehow JW is getting stuck on the other side, but can't be for that much longer. Adrian running through the smoke, and Dozier going down. So it's going to be a 5th round here for Fnatic. If there's nothing Adrian can do here.
Like, how many nades does Crims have? It was like 2 HEs, a Molotov, and then a flash, and then just Crims decides, actually, it's much more simple when I get the job done with the rifle. Don't leave it up to luck. Don't leave it up to chance. Just go in there and get the kill.
We have sort of gone over this issue with the A bomb side before, which is that if you only put 3 people out there, one covering Ivy, one covering main, and one covering Pop Dog, if any one of those 3 people lose the initial fight, then someone else has to take over those angles, and it just doesn't work out. It's so difficult. You see Mo even got the kill there, but then he has to turn around and worry about Ivy because that's where Hooch died. So it just is, it's a bit of a gamble to try and do it like that, but Fnatic are definitely coming back strong here.
Well, this is where it gets ideal for Fnatic, because now they've really got that stranglehold going on Gambit's economy. If you're going to go for that eco kind of route, it's so much more expensive for the CT side to get fully equipped. So long as Fnatic keep picking up these rounds and not dropping too many players in the meantime, it's an uphill battle for Gambit. Gambit are constantly going to have to try and win rounds with less to work with. Olofmeister just taking point, running all over the place, looking for kills, and he will eventually tap out Mo. Doesn't know that Hooch is waiting around the corner, though, that there was an aggressive play coming in from Gambit towards Ali, and so there's a chance here for Hooch to do a little bit of damage. Unfortunately for him, he steps way wide, and Olofmeister's going to find him. So 3 kills for Olof in that anti-eco, just padding his stats a little bit. And it's a 6-4 lead now for Fnatic on the T side here in the first half. It is looking fantastic for the Swedes at this point.
Yeah, playing on the less favored side of Train. If you're already up to 6 rounds, you know you're going to be feeling very good, especially since you lost the pistol. So these are just all sort of rifle pickup rounds that even if you shouldn't have had some of them, the fact is you did get them. So don't think they're really going to worry too much about that. JW with the AW here, and Mo on the other side. Gambit need more rounds like the earlier ones where they get a couple of pickoffs early on and then try and build it into a victory after that. We're rotating Adrian back into the B-bomb side here. Gonna leave a bit of a gap actually upstairs, and Flusher does almost go down.
Yeah, nice HE to the face, taking a little bit of damage. That's always pleasant. But again, it's a similar situation. Look at this. A minute 25 into the round, they have a single incendiary and a flash to work with here as far as utility is concerned for Gambit. And yeah, they've already dropped Mo to Crims.
That was a boost with an AK. That is extremely rare. You know, boosting with the AW here, that could get you a kill, but boosting with the AK-47, just a little bit more tricky.
That's where you see Fnatic really starting to feel themselves, right? Like, right. Or unorthodox plays, fine. I'm feeling inspired right now, you know? I'm going to actually go for something just you never see, and it's going to catch Gambit completely off guard. And so now, with the man advantage, once again, Fnatic, they are not a team that throws this away very often. They're just the kind of team that's going to slow down the pace and just try and spread that defense out as much as possible before just crushing a site. And so JW is still waiting patiently to see if anybody's going to be pushing out by Ali, but there is no aggression from Gambit so far. 35 seconds, and Gambit have decided we're actually just going to sit and wait and gamble on the A site. We have a full defense lineup here over on the A site, 3 players, and Doja, very quickly he can rotate over through connector.
Well, they've got a good presence out here. It's not impossible that Gambit could win this round, but the first fight has to go their way. If they lose one more player, it is definitely going to be done. And already coming out of Ivy, all picking up kill there. Hooch with a good one, but Adrian didn't turn around in time. And Hooch even gets a double, which almost makes it more painful that they're in a horrible position now. They're going to have to try and go in here and defuse the bomb. And again, because they don't have any grenades, they can't even force anyone out by putting a smoke up on it to try and maybe fake a defuse or anything like that. Doja, just with the AWP and the best choices to try and save it. 7 rounds going to be in for Fnatic here.
It's just so impressive because right now Fnatic, what they're showing us is just fundamental CS, right? Just you're always looking for the trade on the T side. You're moving in units, basically in duos, and you're moving in such a way that if one of your guys dies, you can instantly trade back and maintain the man advantage. Maintain the advantage in the round, because if you get that bomb plant and you have a man advantage, you're going to be able to set up the crossfires and just lock down the sites. And so Fnatic, they're just masters at this. They just, I mean, once they get that edge, it's so difficult to get them to make a mistake that will give it back to you.
Now, there was some talk before the game went live about, whether or not Fnatic would show up with the sort of no-respect style that we've sometimes seen. And Olaf did say in the interview beforehand, we are going to go in here and respect them. We're going to make sure that we take it cool. We don't underestimate them. That seems to have been the case. They are playing these rounds fairly slowly. And even when they have the lead and they have a good chance to just sort of crush a bomb site, they really do take it, in a measured pace. So that's very interesting here. 7-4 being the scoreline, and Gambit, again, with almost no money.
All right, well, right now it looks like Gambit, we're not sure if it's a technical or a tactical pause. It would make sense to go for a tactical pause right about now, except for the fact that they don't have a whole lot of money to work with for Gambit. So if anything, they're going to go for a half buy. They're going to just try and invest a little bit of money into this round and save for the next one, because Fnatic are actually starting to get a pretty healthy streak going. They're getting the max loss bonus now, Gambit 3,400 per round. So this might be more of a situation where if it is a tactical pause, they're just saying we need to actually just take a breather here, because in the last round we made the correct call. We did stack. We just weren't able to hit our shots. And so if that's the kind of mistake you're making, maybe just a 30-second, minute-long breather. Don't even really talk that much. Just get refocused. That can make the difference. We've seen it work for teams like Fnatic in the past.
And I mean, right now, Gambit need pretty much whatever they can going their way. They don't really have money to buy into this round. Maybe trying to even out the economy would be a reasonable thing. But this is such a tough position to be in. And Fnatic, they may not be at full strength yet, but there still is a level difference between these two teams.
They're just looking so solid to me right now. It's like maybe not, superhuman strength. They haven't gone Super Saiyan yet, but they're like regular Saiyan, and regular Saiyan is definitely better than human, right? So, right, that's kind of where Fnatic are right now in my eyes. I think SK would force, Super Saiyan out, but Gambit, it might just be Saiyan that's necessary. I don't know. There we got the replay from Crims getting boosted up though, and that is just some sexy CS.
Well, we have managed to get back into the game. It is the 12th round, and the scoreline is 7-4 in favor of Fnatic, playing on the T side of train here for the first map in a best of 3. So there is that to look forward to. The Gambit have had some really good openings in some of these rounds, but they made some rudimentary mistakes, and that can't happen. That has to stop now. Whenever they get the lead from now on, they need to close out those rounds. Hooch is playing alone on the B-bomb side with a scout, which is interesting, and a headshot to start off on Flusha. All right, then.
Flusha just can't seem to catch a break on that high ground, man. He keeps eating HEs. Now he gets scouted. We could actually have another shot coming in here from Hooch, and he's going to be able to spot the man moving up there again and taking a lot of damage. But Dennis with the pre-fire nails it. Hooch is down. Olafmeister going to shut down the flank coming in from Doja towards Pot Dog. You have 3 players left here for Gambit. Mo will eventually dunk a nade, but it's still a 3-on-3 scenario, and Fnatic just have the superior firepower.
Yeah, it could have been interesting if Hooch could have got the second kill then. Adrian will be picking up 1 shot with the Deagle. So it is at least a 2-on-2, but still very hard to win around like this if you don't have any defuse kits. And that's always going to be an issue. Adrian running through right at the last second here, but JW escaping and shooting through the wall. And that's going to be the round. Just JW things.
He's just like, you want to wallbang me? I'm up for that. I've got an AWP. I'm just going to wreck that fight. That's not even a fair fight. The Deagle, it did some damage, but Fnatic, they continue to press their lead forward. 8 rounds on the board for Fnatic. Gambit sitting at 4 rounds. And well, now we finally have a pretty solid buy actually here for Gambit. Now they have some nades to work with. They have that AWP up on Mo. They have 3 kits. This is now the round. It's the do or die moment here for Gambit to turn things around here in the first half.
Let's see how it goes. Doja playing alone early on the B-bomb side, which is not uncommon. It looks like Fnatic are setting up for a classic execute towards the A side of the map. They're at least in position to throw the smokes if they wanted to. Just one I think most people who have seen Train before will recognize immediately. And because the bomb is here, I feel like it's unlikely they'll fake it. Normally you'd have the bomb somewhere else on the map if you were going to throw a fake. Space is playing in a great position to try and counter it, but only, you know, so far as to the fact that he actually needs to get the kill.
And this right now is showing me that really Fnatic are respecting Gambit, right? Because Gambit, they're like a wounded animal, Anders, you know? And any hunter knows, even a wounded animal can just lash out and wound you back, right? And just do some damage. So Fnatic right now, they know that Gambit, they're bleeding, and they're just going to let them bleed out. They're just waiting patiently until they decide, right, okay, it's time to go and finish the job. 50 seconds left in the round, and they're moving out onto that A site. They're leading with the bomb, which could come back to haunt them if Dennis dies, but Crims is right there to buddy up with them, and it's looking good here for Fnatic.
It is trading early on. Hooch will be getting a kill on Crims then, but JW takes one in return. That's going to make it a 3-on-3, and the bomb is making its way out. They do have control of it. Right on the other side, Doja sneaking up, though. A lot of wall bang coming through here, and Mo very nearly going down. And Doja, he can't find the kills. He knows they're right there, and he's going to spray a double there. Flusher going down. Chief JW, the bomb is down. He picks up the one kill. Doja sneaking in on him, and he's making it right around the corner, putting up a Molotov even, and escaping through the smoke while giggling, no doubt, because it's a one-on-one. And Doja has to try and come and find him. He's somewhere down there by main. JW sees the feed, and that's the headshot. Going to be the triple kill. And a 9-4 right now for Fnatic as we move into the 14th round.
And this is what will drive you insane if you're a Gambit at this point, because you've had two chances, two 1v1 clutch scenarios, and Fnatic have won them both. And that can make or break your round right there. If you can pick up that clutch, all of a sudden things are looking a bit rosier for you. You can actually try and swing things your way. You're going to force Fnatic to spend a lot of their money. You know, it starts to look up. But if Fnatic keep winning these clutch scenarios, this is the scoreline that you're left with. Gambit are just never able to get their legs back under them. So now, Fnatic right back, well, not quite into default. Olafmeister's holding way back in C-spawn, so that's an interesting setup. He's got that AWP, so I mean, double scoped, he can definitely look down towards Alley. And well, Dennis, he's going to spot out Hooch, and yet another opening kill here for Fnatic.
And a bit of an attempt, I think, from Gambit to try and be at least a little bit aggressive. That's something they haven't done too much. A little bit over at B, but down at Ivy, they haven't pushed. We haven't seen them try and take control of main. Are they going to follow this up? There's two people right on the other side. And Dennis just waiting.
It's wise. They don't have a flash. And you're looking at it, they just don't have any utility. They would go for that peak any day of the week if they just had a flash to lead the way. But they realize if we walk in there and Dennis is holding the angle with an AK, a single bullet to the head, we're done. And it's definitely over in the round for our team. So instead of taking the risk, they decided to consolidate the defense on the site, backing off for Gambit. And now it turns into the waiting game. 50 seconds again here for Fnatic left in this round. And they can go anywhere. They already have Flusher lurking out onto that B side. He might catch Doja.
He's alone down there, fighting a fight with Flusher. I don't think he actually saw him, and that's a bit of a problem. Molotov's going to come out and force him out into the open, and Flusher to take him out. So very good stuff there. That's going to make it 3 versus 5, and 30 seconds left in Gambit. I mean, retaking with the Max 7 is no fun either. I feel like, even as the 14th round, just maybe try and save what you have. Mo going to be going down, and obviously going to be over 10 rounds for Fnatic.
Are the Bane quotes done with? Like, have we overused them yet? Because I feel like right now Fnatic is just like, your punishment must be more severe. Like, it doesn't really seem like Gambit can ever get their feet. Like, nothing works for them right now. Fnatic are just completely just constricting Gambit. And it's just so thorough. No nades again for Gambit. So why are they even peeking at connector? They know that there's going to be somebody waiting for them holding that angle. It's just standard for Fnatic to set somebody up on the lower ramp, right? And so you just donate, and you keep donating people. So you really just keep hurting your chances. Good fight here from Spaze. He does make it a little bit more expensive for Fnatic by taking 2 kills at Alley. And more importantly, he holds on to that M4. But right now, I mean, that's really bottom of the barrel. You're really looking for the silver lining here, because there isn't a whole lot going Gambit's way. 10-4. Fnatic just crushing this first half.
Yeah, on a positive note, there seems to be no one who's sort of horribly underperforming on Gambit. There's not that one player that's really letting the team down right now. But overall, I think they've just made some poor decisions early on. And like I said earlier, I think when you lose some of those rounds where you're playing 5 versus 3, it cuts so deep into the confidence of the team. You need to win those rounds early on. And Fnatic, they're just slowly winding up. I don't even think we've seen sort of the full extent of what Fnatic can do yet in this best of 3. And if it keeps going this way, we will end up at that no respect spot where they just no longer care because they know they could do it.
And there is the pitfall there, right? That's what happened to SK earlier, it feels like, versus the flip side where they're like, oh, everything is going our way. We actually don't really have to worry that much. Enough of that, though. There is an aggressive push coming in here from Brown Halls. That's Gambit really trying to throw a fast one here on Fnatic, trying to get something going. Adrian's going to work his way up through the storm. He's going to find Crims, but Crims shuts down his teammates. Sprays is gone, and they even know there's a third man there. That's a lot of information for Fnatic to go off of, and they instantly pounce on the A site. And it's just going to completely fall apart here. Gambit, they get pinched, and now it's just Adrian left alive in a 1v4. Quick play coming in from Fnatic. As soon as they get the info, they're acting.
Yeah, Gambit seemed not only on an individual level, but sort of on a team level as well, and on a tactical level to have been completely outplayed in this first half. Adrian, the last man, left 1 versus 4, and it's the 15th round, so of course he's going to go and fight for it, but Flusher sees him, gets the headshot, and that's going to be an 11-4 finish. First half on train in favor of Swedish Fnatic, and not really a surprise, but I feel like the scoreline could have been different. We could have been seeing something like 7 rounds, maybe 8 for Gambit if you count in the sort of extra money they would have had. It still would, I think, no matter what, it would have been a good half for Fnatic, but they definitely gave up some big rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you had those 2 1v1 clutches that went Fnatic's way. You're looking at 2, maybe 3, even 4 rounds based off of that, right? If early on in the half before Fnatic had such a terrific economy, you win a 1v1 clutch, then they're ecoing and you can start getting something going, right? But for Gambit to lose 2 key rounds and then to just lose a bunch of fundamental rounds where mistakes were made, and Fnatic, they just don't let you come back from a mistake.
Well, going into the second half, we'll see if Gambit can do anything on the terrorist side. It's going to come up right after the break. And we are back once again. It's Gambit and Fnatic, the second half of the first map here for the final game of the day. It started off a little bit questionable. Gambit winning the pistol round and looking, you know, pretty good for a short while. And then Fnatic simply took over the game and never let go.
Yeah, if you look at the scoreboard, I mean, you have 3 rounds at the beginning. Gambit picked up the pistol. They had that going for him. Pistol on CT side. That's usually a pretty feel-good moment for you, right? If you're starting off against one of the best teams in the world, you're like, yeah, okay, things are going according to plan. And then that's where the plan ended, because Fnatic, they took that page, they ripped it in half. Olafmeister chewed on one bit, JW swallowed the other, and it was gone. The plan was gone. It was just Fnatic show from there on out. So now we go into the second half where Gambit, they get to set the pace, they get to set the tone. They're on the T side. So let's see what they have in store for us here, because the countdown, it has begun.
On the Gambit side, we do have the Molotov and the smoke, and actually a second smoke as well. So the first immediate thought that has to pop into your mind is the potential for a B plant and to try and firebomb the actual bomb once it's down to prevent Fnatic from defusing. Fnatic on the other side do not have a smoke grenade, so that means they can't cancel the Molotov in case that's what's going to happen. And a quick early kill there going in. JW down and out space, won't pay that up, but I think Adren even heard them walking away or running a little bit there. So some good information out already, but I like the fact that Gambit are slowing it down here. They've got plenty of time.
Yeah, back to those fundamentals, right? You pick up that first kill instead of trying to pounce on it and potentially running into a situation where Fnatic can bring it back their way. You take your time and you wait. You try and make maybe a little bit of noise around the map, but you wait for that defense to spread out. And now Gambit decide, okay, minute 10, it's time to go. And Dennis is going to start us off with a headshot on Doja. Adrian with the flank is going to take down Dennis, but he's been spotted by Flusha, and he might just that might cost him his life. He is going to be able to sneak his way out. But this is close. Flusha finally hits that headshot.
He swapped into USP with no bullets in. That's a little bit uncomfortable. Wolfmeister looking for the kill, but actually failing it a bit. Krim's there to pick it up, though. And that's going to be Hooch and Mo left. And if anything, they have to win this round. There's no other choice. They do have the Molotov still on Mo. Does he know the angle? No, it seems like it lands a little bit too far up. I'm not sure that's going to cover it. Mo goes down, and so does Hooch. And yeah, they could defuse even without. So just a little bit failed on the angle there. That's going to give Fnatic the round and turn it into a 12-4. And right now, this is looking like a team that is just headed straight for a semi-final.
Yeah, barring a massive let up on the pressure, basically, from Fnatic. If they really start horsing around, they've done it in the past. So, I mean, you know, it's always possible. But right now, it is definitely looking like things are just going to take off here for Fnatic. You've got Wolfmeister and Adrian right now kind of sitting pretty. But, I mean, you could look at the 1v1s, but for me, like the team, Fnatic as a whole right now, everybody is doing their job. Everybody is very close on the kills, and they just seem to be coming through, whether it be clutch, opening kills, just locking things down. Everything seems to be going right for Fnatic.
Olaf a little bit aggressive here, and even though it's a blind spray through, space will be taken out. They don't have armor because they're going to be buying in the next round, so Olaf's just going to go on absolute cleanup duty here, taking down 3, and Flusha gets a little bit of action as well. And Doja, he's got a P250, so he could do some damage, but eventually they're just going to run him down. Myself was hoping for a knife kill then, but that wasn't going to be the case. Quad kill for Olaf instead, and just so much money in his pockets.
Unreal. Look at that. He starts the round with 6,000, and he could even hold on to the MP9, but why? He just made 6 grand. Guess what? Just go for the AWP. And so they have everything they need here at Fnatic. Full nades, nearly everybody rocking a kit. Dennis, you have $2,000 in the bank. Why are you not buying a kit right now? Buy the kit, Dennis. That would be too silly. All right, well, we'll see if it comes back to bite them. Gambit, they've got the rifles, but they have no AWP for Mo, so we'll see what they have in store for us here. They are spreading out, looking for that default setup. Quick flash, actually.
You know, Counter-Strike Karma is a real thing, so I could definitely see a world in which Dennis ends up needing the kit at the end of this round.
Just ask Pasha.
Yeah, that's happened time and time again, so... But regardless of karma or good or bad luck or anything else like that, it is 13-4. I don't see any way that Gambit could change the outcome of this map. It's simply too overwhelming a scoreline here. Fnatic, they have the money and the grenades, as you were saying here in this round. Some interesting wall banging coming up there. JW in position in the B-bomb side.
Yeah, I'd like that wall bang, though. They really should be doing it more often. There's the double peek, though. Solid teamwork coming in here from Gambit. They peeked together, and so there would have been a potential trade 1-for-1. But JW will miss the shot, and he falls back. But this gives Gambit now full control of the Brown Hall, so they can set up for a quick B take. And we'll have to see how JW wants to adjust his position for this, because he doesn't want to be in a position where they're just going to be able to rush him down point blank. He wants to actually have a little bit of room to work with his AWP.
Well, missing the first 2 blind shots, a third one not connecting either, and Gambit there on the site. Only Doja's holding up from behind right now, and JW misses one more shot, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Backup is coming, and Adred is kind of low on health, but he misses again. JW finally comes in with a kill, and then he's going to go down a little bit messy at the end there. Mo and Doja are going to be left, and it's still going to be hard to hold on to this bomb right now. Mo not seeing Krims right in front of him on that train. I think he was preoccupied with something else at the time, and now Doja alone. They have grenades to try and keep him back, and he's on 13 health. And look at how easy this is for Flusha. pressure. Let's actually look away, but that's going to be the kill. And the round for Fnatic, 14-4.
Do you know what is absolutely absurd, Anders? Is that Dennis defuses that bomb.
Perfect.
He doesn't have a kit. It's going to take him 10 seconds, and he's the one defusing. That's how confident Fnatic are in just holding the man. Once they know that he's up there on the upper hall, they're like, right, Dennis, it's all good. Take your time, mate. No rush. I'm going to go ahead and put the kettle on real quick, make some tea, and then Doja's going to eat a bullet eventually, and then it will be fine. 14-4. Fnatic just powering through at this point. Gambit, luckily for them, because of that bomb plant, they have the money to go for a force buy here. So 4 rifles, a Tech 9 on Doja, limited nades, and it looks like a bit of a turn of speed here. They want to go rushing out onto this A site.
Well, they pick up the early kill then. Adrian taking that. Flusher does go down. Dennis with a quick shot on space, so brings it back into a 4-on-4. And JW, he's going to go down there. I feel like they should have given, especially after the last round, the AWP to Olaf, and Crims with a good double spray down, though, will bring it into a 2-on-3.
Just impeccable spatial awareness there from Dennis. He got 1 kill, but he realizes he's vulnerable to a second man coming through that smoke, and so backs off, closes off the angle, focuses on A main. I mean, the defense right now for Fnatic is just overlapping fields of fire, lines of fire, and Olafmeister now, he's on a happy little mission, looking for a happy little bomb that lives on a hillside that Bob Ross just painted. I mean, it's a man advantage for Fnatic, and Olaf, he's got the back line covered towards that B site, so his teammates can just stay seated on A.
I can't keep up anymore. I'm done. Mo and Adrian are going to try and see if they can head out. And Dennis is in a pretty good position right now. He's probably only going to face one at a time. And with Crims also there to cover him, this is practically impossible for Gambit to break, especially because they only have 1 flashbang. And there's no way that's going to finish both players. Dennis there, actually failing the spray that creates an interesting opening. And Crims somehow shooting a little bit too fast. Grenade, though, puts Adrian down to 11 health. And that's going to be a bit of an issue in a couple of seconds. 20 off them left right now. And it's a 2-on-2. They need to get in here and get the bomb plant down. You could see him, Mo, he desperately wants to, but he himself is just 1 shot from this Max 7 away from death, and Olaf sneaking in. Even if it's long range, it's going to be plenty of damage right now. It doesn't matter anymore. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, they have to go for the plant, and Olaf, he knows it. Somehow misses the shot. I have no idea what's happening. Gambit come through with the bomb plant in spite of the fact that it should have been impossible, and now Olaf is just toying with them and waiting for Crims to show up, walking out of C connector. Olaf still missing shots, finally gets it while jumping mid-air. I guess that was the key ingredient they were missing then. Now it's a 1-on-1 Crims versus Adrian. They're both very low on health, and he's going to be sneaking in and getting the shot. And Fnatic will win the round, making it 15.
Unbelievable.
I think he was just missing the airborne component. You know, had to make it flashy.
What's interesting is I thought that Crims was holding... Crims was clearly worried about the flank coming in from Adrian. Because what I thought is they both had both sides of the train covered. And so all they were doing was playing the clock. All Olafmeister has to do is keep peeking out and forcing them off that bomb plant. And in the meantime, Crims is watching the other side of the train. So it's pretty much impossible for Gambit to get the plant. But Crims with the rotate through actually created an opportunity there for things to get interesting.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like all Olafmeister had to do was actually hit anything with the 20 or so pellets that come out of that shotgun. I feel like that should be a manageable task at that point in time. But regardless, it is map point for Fnatic. And I would ask if Gambit could change that, but I don't think that's even worth entertaining for a moment here. We've got all AKs on the terrorist side, and they are trying to see if they can force their way out into the courtyard there. It's going to be space opening up with a nice kill and a hooch to follow up on Dennis.
It's looking fantastic, actually. Now JW is the only one here in connector. Flush has rotated back to alley, but Adrian's going to have that line, and JW hoping for a lucky wall bang. It's not quite going to happen, so the HE bank, neither. And this is actually a situation where Fnatic can start to think about backing off just to save their guns. I mean, sure, they don't really respect Gambit right now, but they are willing to go ahead and take a couple of peeks. Still, they shouldn't be committing fully. They're just waiting to see if somebody from Gambit is going to make the mistake of stepping out into the open. Because right now, it's much better for them to hold on to the 3 rifles, well, to the 2 rifles and the AWP, than to try and go for some suicide run retake onto the A site. So Gambit, they finally get something to work their way. Just again, no fear, straight out onto the site, and they actually got the trades to work.
That's a good sign, and it would have been better if they had sort of got this kind of a breakthrough much earlier on, because the problem is when it happens this late, you can't just say, well, let's just sort of repeat that for a long time, because the one time Fnatic counters it and it doesn't work, it's not like you have a second chance to say, okay, let's come up with something else. The one time it fails is when you lose the map. So, you know, this is an impossible position. They need to win 10 rounds in a row flawlessly. And I mean, for someone to call that is, I don't know, that takes the next level.
That's one hell of an outside bet, basically. you're gonna go on a real reach there on a stretch to get it. And it also just worked out perfectly as far as a setup for Fnatic. They were so spread out. Olofmeister and JW, though, they're going to be going towards that B site early on. Dennis playing aggressive alley, which is interesting, with Flusha to back him up. And we'll see. I mean, there is JW once again with this AWP. Brown Hall's just hoping for somebody to come and say hello. He's just looking for a friend, Anders. Anyone would do.
I don't know. I feel like if you treat your friends like that, it's going to be a little bit scary for me.
Short-lived relationship.
Crims is gone down already, so Gambit again with a good start. See if they could build anything behind it. JW is up here with the AWP. Does see a shoulder, but I think maybe Space also figured out that someone might be there. And don't want to throw this round away to walking into that sniper. Still holding in the back lines here. It's going to be JW picking up the first kill on Space. The bomb is making its way over there. They actually got JW in the corner, and they're trying to see if they can rush him down. Flusha going to be walking into Adrian, so that's a good kill. And JW's made his way back into the bomb site. So still a 4-on-3. See if Gambit can turn this around.
And now they're thinking A site, and they catch Dennis looking the wrong way. And so it's on Flusha and Olofmeister. JW's rotating in as quickly as possible. Olofmeister flashed will find a kill, and Hoach down to 8 HP. Hoach's got to do the work, and Flusha's not going to let him. Finds that kill instantly, and now it's all on Hoach, and not for long. Flusha ends it, 16-5. Fnatic will pick up the first map versus Gambit in the last quarterfinal of the day, and Dennis's smile says it all. You caught it for an instant there, but there's just no stress for Fnatic. Everything is going according to plan. It couldn't have gone smooth.